Welcome back. Hopefully you've all got to the same stage now as my car is on the window, and now we're actually going to play with that car. Now before I do anything, although I've actually saved my car, I'm going to select all the parts. I'm going to hit my copy button. I'm going to open a new window and I'm going to paste. You'll see that all those parts are pasted as separate parts, so I need to merge them using my merge button. Now all my bits and pieces are all together in a new window, and I can now play with it and won't damage anything that was in the other window. So first of all, I'm going to select the red part of the car. I'm going to go to my edit outline. I'm going to right click and adjust with an arc. I'm going to left click in that connection area there, that V area, and down near the bottom part. Once I move my cursor over the outside line, it will change shape. I can determine where I want to actually change the shape to, and I'm going to enter escape and generate. And you see I've changed the shape of my car. I'm going to redo this again, adjust with an arc. I'm going to just come down here and down here, and I'm just going to actually lift up the roof of the car to give it a different shape and generate again. Now you'll see that we actually have a different shape to our car. The windows are not a different shape, but we can actually make new windows quite easily for the car. By selecting those windows, I'm right clicking and selecting them and holding down my control key, and that will select them on my stitch sequence window. And then I can use my adjust with an arc to change the shape of my window, and I'm just going to lift it up a fraction just to make it more in line with the actual shape of the car. If you don't like what you've done, I'm just going to now adjust with a line to straighten that side area up, left click, and I'm going to generate. Now those windows are actually now underneath the back of that car area. Couple of options. I could select the red part of the car. I can create a void using existing areas. Now this may or may not work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends what adjustments you've actually made to that window. That one worked fine. That one hasn't worked. So I'm going to enter escape and generate. Now you can see that this window here is fine, this window isn't. I'm going to fix that by actually deleting that window. Control delete, selecting this window, Control C, Control V. I've made myself another window. I'm going to reverse it and move it across. Now I have two windows the same shape. I'm going to select my car. I'm going to edit outline. I'm going to right click and create a void using existing area. Now you see I have two windows the same on my new shaped car. I'm going to remove the in and the out point running stitch. I can leave that one in, and I need to then change the position of my car window. So I'm going to move it to position 2 and click OK. Now I have one window and I have two windows. I have a running stitch down to my tyre. I need to move this up to position 1, and I need to then run a running stitch, a connection stitch. Now you'll notice that I've got an in and an out point here. That's not going to work by doing a connection stitch across this way. So I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to change these. Now I have my out point where I want it. Now I can run a connection stitch across to there. In and out. I'm going to move that, change the colour to white, move it to position 2. Now I have a window, a running stitch, another window and a running stitch. The only problem is I don't like the way, I don't think it's on 45 degrees now, it can stay. Okay, both those directions are fine. Now we'll do a 3D view and we'll generate. I need to select all those white to generate it properly. Now you've got rid of that running stitch that was across there by mistake. The only thing I need to do now is to hit my space bar and remove my tie-offs. Now you've seen we've actually changed the shape of the car. I'm going to reselect all those and merge them back together again. I am actually going to resize the car down to 80, click OK and generate. Now you'll notice I'm generating and then escaping and entering all the time. I just do that as a full safe method for everything to generate and to deselect tools that I've used. It's a habit I got into, so you will see me doing it all the time. Other people may not use that technique. They may rely on generations to do it. I prefer to do it in that method. You have the choice. Okay, now I'm just going to move my car down a fraction. I'm going to go to my circle tool and I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to select that circle and copy and paste it. I'm going to resize the copy and paste one that I just did down to 15. No, 18. Let's see what happens. Okay, that looks fine. You can't see it, so I'll just select it and change the colour of it. Now you can see what I was doing. I'm going to select the first one and I'm going to create a void using existing area and I'm going to cut out the centre. Both of these are still auto-judged. Don't worry about it. Okay, now I'm going to grab my rectangle or square tool, hold down my control key, and I'm going to drag a rectangle shape and generate. Just going to change the colour of that to a lighter colour. I'm going to move it up the line. I'm going to change the outside area of that to red. I'm going to change the inside area to white. Because I used my square rectangle tool, it has actually filled that with an area. It is a Saturn area, auto-judged, that's fine. I can actually change it to a proper Saturn area rather than the auto-judged Saturn area. The outside of that, again, I'm going to make a Saturn area, and the inside I'm just going to change to a complex area and generate. Because I used my area tool rather than a line border tool, I can actually now go to my edit outline. I can right click, create a void using existing area. That will cut that back to the top of that pole. Now we have a signpost. Now if I want the red area of the car to be the same as that, I would change the order. I'm going to change my car colour now to white. I am going to change my window areas to more of a see-through type area. You will realize why I do this very shortly. Now I'm going to select my aerial tool. I'm going to go to Arial Black. I'm going to change it down to a 5, maybe manually change it to a 7.0. And I'm going to type in 60 and click OK. Move it up here and generate. Now I have a speed limit on my sign. I can select the 60 and change it to black. Hit my space bar, remove the underlay, apply, and OK. I've removed the underlay because I'm going to sew on this complex area here. Now the in and the out points are not where I want them, so I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to move my in point down to the bottom and my out point down to the bottom and generate. Now I'm going to grab the in and the out points to the 0 and generate. I'm going to zoom back out again. Now you may wonder why I have made this car white. You'll see. I'm going to actually grab my rectangle tool and very carefully draw a stripe across my car, extending past my car. Right click to escape and generate. Again, edit outline, right click, create a void, drawing freely. Now I'm going to actually draw across where my line is there, enter, escape and generate. Now I have an area there that I can delete with Control Delete. Check the back end of the car. It's looking fine, that's not a problem. Okay, I'm going to change the colour to blue. Now I have a car with a stripe along the side of it. I will use my freehand tool and come out here, left click, right click, right click, back a space, left click, and enter. Now I have what is going to be a flashing light. Edit outline, create a void using existing area, and generate. We will turn the flashing light to red, or maybe even yellow. If you don't quite like the shape that you've done here, if you think it's a little bit rough because we are handling here, then you just adjust with an arc to make it nice and easy for those that like a nice even light. It's auto judged. We can change that to a complex fill. We can change the direction of that if we want by just using this direction arrow. I can hit my space bar. I can select a pattern that is just a random type pattern. I'm just hitting the random button till I get something that I like. I can save it if I want to save it for future use, or just click OK, apply, and generate. Now I have a nice little light on top of that. You may want to make it look more like a flashing light. If you want to do that, you can do that also. This time we will change it to a radial. I'll move it down here, and I'm going to hit my space bar, use feather, enable feather, enable pattern, and you can select a spiky type pattern, 8.1 or a 6.1, and click OK, apply. Now we have more of a flashing light. This is purely your choice.